99.5% of Lake Erie is frozen solid, wind chills crashing to 50 below zero, and temperatures about to swing 60 degrees in 1 week. That's cold enough to freeze boiling water mid-air before it hits the ground. I'm Tom Hadley, and this is one of the most aggressive Arctic invasions this entire winter, arriving in the next 24 to 48 hours. But here's what the models showed me just 2 hours ago that changed everything. I'll get to that shortly. First, let me set the stage. Drop your city in the comments right now, because I've got 80 plus cities covered and you cannot miss what's headed your way. A fast-moving clipper punched down out of Canada overnight, dragging snow across the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley all morning. Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison, you woke up to snowflakes flying. That snow is now pushing into Michigan and closing in on Detroit. Your Friday afternoon commute around 4 p.m. is going to be ugly. Columbus, Dayton, Fort Wayne. Roads getting slick as we speak, visibility dropping in those heavier bands. But here's what most people completely missed. We saw snow way farther south than anyone expected yesterday. Parts of the Carolinas and northern Georgia picked up snow showers Thursday. Spots near Mooresville, North Carolina, reported ½ an inch in North Carolina in February. That tells you exactly how much cold air is locked in across the east. And folks, this is just the appetizer. The main course is a brutal Arctic front barreling down from Canada right behind this system. And when I say brutal, I mean brutal. Multiple clippers are lined up to dive south through the weekend, each one dragging even colder air behind it like dominoes. Are y'all seeing flakes out there right now? Drop it in the comments. I want to see how this lines up with the models. All right, let me break this down city by city, starting with the Midwest, where it's already getting ugly. Chicago, snow tapering by noon, but temperatures falling off a cliff starting 3 p.m. By Saturday, 6 a.m., wind chills hit 20 to 25 below. That is not a typo. At those temps, frostbite on exposed skin in under 15 minutes. This is the kind of cold that puts people in the hospital. Detroit getting slammed from 2 angles. Clipper snow between 2 and 6 p.m. today, then lake effect bands firing up overnight off Lake Huron and Erie. Total accumulation 3 to 6 inches by Sunday. Upper Peninsula could see ½ a foot or more where bands concentrate. Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, all under advisory. The entire Great Lakes region getting pummeled through Tuesday. Milwaukee at 23, Minneapolis at 20, Twin Cities wind chills bottoming out near 30 below Saturday night around 10 p.m. Here's some perspective. That's colder than the average surface temperature on Mars. I'm not even exaggerating. Green Bay at 22, Duluth at 15, Fargo at 18, all locked in deep freeze with wind chills making it feel way worse. Indianapolis, 1 to 3 inches through Friday afternoon, temps crashing to single digits by 9 p.m. Tonight, Des Moines, you're shivering right now, I know, but hold tight. What's about to happen to your temps next week is going to blow your mind. I'll get to that in a few minutes, I promise. Cleveland, 27, Columbus, 29, Cincinnati, 31, Toledo, Akron, Youngstown, all in the bullseye for this clipper. If you're anywhere in Ohio, plan on snow-covered roads through the entire weekend. St. Louis, 32, mostly dry, Kansas City, 42, Omaha 38, Lincoln 40, you're on the western edge, good news for y'all. Wichita at 40, Tulsa at 42, Southern Plains in that transition zone between cold and mild. Take a breath, y'all, we're shifting regions. How we doing in the comments? Ohio Valley and Appalachians, this is where snow totals get impressive. Most of Ohio looking at 1 to 3 inches over 48 hours. Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, plan on snow-covered roads through the weekend. Rethink any travel plans. Lexington and Richmond, Kentucky, decent snow band coming 3 to 6 p.m. Friday, could put down 2 to 4 inches. But the real headline belongs to the mountains. Charleston and Parkersburg, West Virginia, getting significant snowfall right now. Accumulation stacking up fast as I'm recording. Higher elevations talking 8 to 12 inches. Some ski resorts could see a foot. Asheville and the Smokies looking fantastic. Louisville, 30 to 35 advisory posted. That I-64 corridor from Louisville through Charleston gonna be a mess tonight. Pittsburgh, 2 to 4 inches. Wind chills hitting 15 below by Saturday. Bundle up, Steel City. Now, the Northeast, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is where the Arctic front is going to be at its most ferocious. The Clipper pushes snow into the I-95 corridor Friday evening between 6 and 10 p.m. D.C., Baltimore, Philly, all seeing accumulation. D.C. looking at high of 38, low of 22, but watch that Saturday morning commute. As that system moves offshore around 5 a.m. Saturday, signs it could develop into a coastal low, and that changes everything for New England. That coastal low could throw moisture back inland, setting up embedded snow squalls across the entire Northeast. If you've never driven through a snow squall, visibility drops to 0 in minutes. Genuinely terrifying stuff. New York City, 2 to 4 inches with wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour by Saturday. All 5 boroughs, nobody escapes this one. Wind chills in Manhattan dropping to 15 to 20 below by Saturday 8 p.m. Long Island picking up extra inches from back-end bands. Newark, Jersey City at 30. Major delays expected. If you're doing I-95 this weekend, leave 45 minutes early. Now, Boston, I got to be straight with you. Boston is going to get hammered. 4 to 6 inches with wind gusts reaching 60 miles per hour along the coast. We're talking borderline blizzard conditions. Wind chills plunging to 25 below. Frostbiting under 10 minutes at those temps. This is serious stuff, folks. Hartford, Providence, 2 to 4 inches. Portland, Maine at 28. Burlington, 22. Northern Northeast really needs to be ready. Buffalo and Syracuse getting buried under lake effect. Tug Hill Plateau is ground zero. Totals could exceed 1.5 feet. Rochester, Binghamton, Utica, all in that same zone. You guys know the drill, but this one's intense. Albany, brace yourself. Wind chills approaching 40 to 45 below by Sunday 6 a.m. That is life-threatening cold. I'm not using that phrase lightly. Extreme cold warnings posted from Pennsylvania through Maine. National Weather Service doesn't issue those unless they mean business. All right, before I keep scaring everyone, let me give you some good news. The South is catching a breather. Atlanta 57, Charlotte 52, Raleigh 54, Nashville 50, Memphis 54, Southeast finally getting a break y'all needed. Birmingham 48, Jackson 48, Little Rock 42. Deep South getting a breather. Enjoy it. Midweek moisture headed your way. Savannah 52, Charleston, South Carolina 48, Wilmington 46, Carolina Coast clearing out nicely. Knoxville 42, Chattanooga 45, all dry tomorrow, but watch that Wednesday system. Florida, what a ride y'all been on. Miami bouncing back to 80 after hitting mid-30s. That's a 46-degree swing in 3 days. Your closet literally cannot keep up with that. Tampa 72, Orlando 74, Jacksonville 68. Sunshine State finally earned its name back. Texas looking great. Houston 64, Dallas 59, San Antonio 62, Austin 62, El Paso 65. Soak it in, y'all. New Orleans 64, Corpus Christi 68. Gulf Coast warm and dry. Enjoy it while it lasts. What city y'all watching from right now? Drop it in the comments. I want to see where everyone's tuning in. West Coast, Pacific Northwest has its own major story. Powerful storm barreling in off the Pacific, loaded with moisture. Seattle and Olympia, heavy rain through the weekend, 2 to 4 inches in lowlands. Watch for minor flooding in low-lying areas. Portland in similar situation. Tacoma 48, Spokane 35 with mountain snow nearby. Cascades could see 2 feet of fresh snow. 2 feet. Excellent for the snowpack and California water supply. Northern Idaho, Western Montana, British Columbia, all getting in on the action with significant mountain snow expected. For California below snow line, 2 to 4 inches rain over 10 days. Welcoming sight of water, finally. LA 66, San Diego 65, Phoenix 70, Tucson 72, Vegas 62. Y'all out west just vibing, must be nice. San Francisco 58, San Jose 62, Sacramento 62. Bay Area giving off late March energy in early February. Denver 45, but could hit mid-60s later this week. That's 45 degrees above normal for this time of year. Absolutely insane. All right, here's where things get wild, and if you've made it this far, what I'm about to tell you might genuinely blow your mind. Remember I told Des Moines to hold tight? Here's why. Starting next week, the weather pattern across the middle of the country is going to completely flip, and I mean completely. That ridge parked over the west finally shifts east of the Continental Divide, and temperatures are gonna skyrocket. We're talking 30 to 40 degrees above normal for early February. Omaha could hit mid-60s by Monday, February 9th. That's just 3 days from now. Des Moines looking similar. Sioux Falls, South Dakota might flirt with 60 degrees, record highs very much on the table. Let me put this in perspective. We're going from 30 below wind chills to temperatures in the 60s in less than a week. That's a 90-degree swing in how it feels outside. 90 degrees. Let that sink in. Kansas City, OKC. Dallas could see 70s and low 80s. It's going to feel like someone accidentally fast-forwarded to April. Little Rock and Shreveport might push into the mid-70s. But here's the catch. There's always a catch. That warmth is going to hit a wall before it reaches the East Coast. The trough over the Northwest Atlantic is going to act like a barrier, blocking that warm air from getting through. So while Omaha is basking in springtime temps, New York and Boston could still be grinding through the 30s. Same country, 1,500 miles apart, completely different seasons. Now here's the part that has me glued to the models every single night, and what I've been building to this whole video. Valentine's Day weekend. Both American and Canadian models picking up a potentially significant storm developing across the southern plains around the 13th through 16th. Friday the 13th this year, don't even get me started on that timing. Low pressure expected to track across Tennessee Valley or Mid-Atlantic, and the exact track is going to determine everything. Northwest side, winter storm impacts with snow and ice across Midwest, Great Lakes, Northeast, potentially significant accumulations. Warm side, heavy rain and severe weather from East Texas through Southeast. Gusty winds, hail, possibly tornadoes on the table. I know y'all have Valentine's plans, but real talk, your date night might get ruined by storms. Have a backup plan ready. When warm air crashes into retreating cold, that collision zone is where the real fireworks go off. Colorado lows can be absolute monsters. The kind of system that drops feet of snow on one side and spawns tornadoes on the other. If that system tracks just a bit further south, I-95 corridor from D.C. to Boston could be right in the crosshairs. Too early for specifics at 10 days out, but the signal has been consistent across multiple runs. That's what makes it worth watching. Looking further out, late February into early March shows no signs of winter surrendering. More storms possible around the 23rd through 28th. Phil called 6 more weeks of winter. And honestly, looking at these models, I think that groundhog might actually be onto something. I'll be real with you. I could use a break from staring at blue and purple temperature maps every morning. I know a lot of y'all feel the exact same way. Safety stuff real quick. And this matters way more than any forecast number I gave you. So please listen. Generators outside, away from windows and doors, no exceptions ever. Carbon monoxide kills people every single winter. Check on your neighbors, especially anyone elderly or living alone. A quick phone call could literally save a life in this cold. Pets inside, period. If it's too cold for you to stand outside 10 minutes, it's way too cold for your dog. Watch for bursting pipes with these temps. Let your faucets drip. Cost of extra water is nothing compared to flood damage. If you must travel, pack emergency kit, blankets, water, flashlight, charger. Tell someone your route and expected arrival. All right, wrapping up. 4 things on my radar, 4 things on yours. Number 1, today's snow pushing through Ohio Valley into Mid-Atlantic. Roads gonna be dicey through tonight. Number 2, weekend Arctic blast with wind chills dropping 40 to 50 below in spots. Life-threatening cold, cover all exposed skin. Number 3, that pattern flip bringing 60s to the plains while east stays frozen. Wild temperature contrast coming. Number 4, Valentine's Day storm signal. If that Colorado low develops anywhere near what the models show, major event coast to coast. That's what I'm watching on tonight's overnight model runs. If anything shifts, I'll have an update first thing tomorrow morning. What region you want me to go deeper on in tomorrow's video, Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.
If this forecast helped you out, smash that like button. It seriously helps get these out when dangerous weather is coming.
Subscribe if you haven't already. February is going to be absolutely wild, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.
This is Tom Hadley. Stay warm, stay safe. Warmer days are genuinely right around the corner. See you tomorrow morning. Peace.